Hi everyone, welcome back. So we hope that you've taken time to read the article. So Myanmar, a country in Southeast Asia, has a predominantly Buddhist population, but there's a large ethnic population of Muslims called the Rohingya that are currently in a very difficult situation in Myanmar. So several years ago, prompted by riots, so the government says, by these people, the government kind of took it upon themselves to start pushing them out of the country. And so by current estimations, 730,000 Rohingya Muslims have been pushed out of Myanmar into Bangladesh. But as you can imagine, it's not just, hey, go away, get out. A lot of people have been killed systematically by the government and by the military forces in their country. And so because of that, in 2017, Gambia, a predominantly Muslim country in Africa, was watching this happen and thought, no, like we need to step in and do something. So the International Court of Justice received a petition from them to say, you guys, you need to look at what Myanmar are doing. Like, this is not okay. And in recent weeks, many other countries have joined this petition, including Canada, Denmark, the United Kingdom, and they are going to be submitting evidence to the ICJ about what they have observed, what their intelligence services have witnessed happening in Myanmar, to see whether Myanmar should face some kind of punishment for what they are doing. So, as we said, a very heavy article today. So first one, why do you think some countries and their people commit genocide in the first place?
I think it's the propaganda being pushed by certain groups. It might start with some ideology that they believe that a certain group of people hold, and then they deem it as the bad and wrong, and then it should be eradicated. And then they start thinking that, oh, it was this person, this group of people, and it's now all of your kind. And yeah, I think it's terrible to think that people would just want to commit genocide for any reason. I think people should be held as individuals. Unless they're committing heinous acts as a group, then only the people involved should be held accountable, but not a whole race or a whole group of people that come from the same culture or beliefs.
Right. I think if we look back at history, we can see exactly what you just said. Like, it's kind of a case of us versus them in many cases. So the other is blamed for financial problems, maybe health problems. And unfortunately, since 9/11, I guess, in 2001, Muslims have been the target of incredible hate from many people all around the world. So this isn't just a problem in Myanmar. It's also happening in Western China too. The same population, the same Rohingya Muslims are being potentially genocided by Chinese government, and also other places in Northern Africa. Those places have also had wars about religion, even in the US to a certain extent. A lot of people have a lot of hate towards people coming from Central and South America.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we're all human, but unfortunately a lot of people have a lot of beliefs that their kind is better than another kind. So what do you think individuals can do to address these global issues like genocide or human rights abuses?
Well, they need to go to their government, the public officials. They need to get their stories out, go to the news. But I guess if they're being targeted, let's say if you're in Myanmar and you're one of the Muslim, part of the Muslim group, then it might be difficult to get some help there. So the internet is a very good place to spread, get some help, get some views, so people can direct their attention to what's happening. I think that would be very helpful. What do you think?
I think in the past, many people would protest in the streets because you as an individual, you do not have any power to change the outcome of a country that is not your own. But I think if you get enough people together and your voices are loud enough, then you can force the people who do have power to do something. And as you said, I think these days social media is an incredibly important tool. So what's going on in Israel and Gaza these days, a lot of the information that we as the public, I think, are receiving is coming from social media rather than large media publications and governments. So I think it's really important that people use the power of the internet to kind of make the rest of the world understand what is happening. And in Indonesia too. Many things are happening in Indonesia these days. And without the power of social media, I don't think I would have heard about any of it because it's not being reported on the news. So yeah, protests and social media. Okay, it's hard to say if you enjoyed today's story, but we hope that you have learned something from today's article. Take a look at the vocabulary and make sure that you try to incorporate it into your everyday life. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Intervene.
Intervene.
Genocide.
Genocide.
Statement.
Statement.
Observation.
Observation.
Authorize.
Authorize.